Success is not what you do, it's who you are. And who you are is made up of what you know. The Bible says that you are righteous, but do you know the secret to righteousness? Pay attention.
David was speaking, and David said, I had a problem. I saw the wicked flourishing. I saw them overtaking me. I saw girls who are runs girls. I see all of them using flashy things, phones I couldn't use. And I wanted to regret. Said, God, why? I'm following you. These ones are not following you. And they are having it so good. David said, I was in that situation. You know, sometimes people are there. Something is telling you, why don't you go and join them? And all those people will come and feign excitement, feign happiness, and even lure you. David said, I was in that situation until I saw their end. When I saw their end, I said, God forbid, that's not the end I want. He said, I was envious of the prosperity of the wicked until I saw the end. Highest 5 years, highest 7 years, highest 10 years. Then everything will crash. And when things crash, it can be terrible. Because sometimes when the things crash, it is out of season. You know, there are seasons of life. You don't waste your season of life doing evil. You see, evil people will always lure. And you know what lure means? Lure. They will always. For instance, maybe some of you, they've not preached to me. But I've met people who were evangelized by court boys to join court. They make it look like heaven. They make this. When they finish talking to you about courtism, you will like, what am I doing? There's no other place better than being in court. They will tell you about the protection. They will tell you about the security. They will tell you about the connections you are going to make, the gains you are going to make. Alluring. Are just luring you. You see, that's how all other evils come. All other evils and errors, they come with beautiful faces, happy faces, because Satan deceives. And that's why it is called ensnaring. We used to set traps those days in the village. I grew up in the village. And we set traps. The best traps are traps that are set for the game, for the animal not to know that there's a trap. Set it. You make the soil look normal. You make it look like its normal path. And to add it all, you look for what he likes eating and then drop it. Looks fine. That's how Satan draws people to sin. And that is how those in sin, that's the only way they can draw others into sin. And then the thing will come to eat. Before it knows it, it traps him. And the thing is that those who are setting traps, these traps keeps getting games. 15 years, they are still setting the same trap. 15 years, animals are still getting in there and being stuck. Every year there's admission. You will see new admitted into court. To worsen it, something normally tells you that it won't happen to you. Something tells you, well, you can live your life anytime you like it. Just feel free, test your life. Then later on, maybe when you are now, whatever, you can now pull out. That same thing talking to you, talk to every other person. Do you think anybody plans to go and die? Satan's greatest strategies, deception, lies. Some of you ladies have tried to work for rats, big rats, and you look for small fish. When did you become so generous to rats? And rats wouldn't know. They will say, Madame has favored us today. And the same madam that hates the fact that you're in his house now gave you fish. And rats, you are coming, praising God. Don't eat that kind of fish. There's something in it. So if you really want to be happy in life, it begins with the fear of the Lord. And the fear of the Lord is to depart from evil. I know everybody here believes with me that it's better to live a clean life. And you can do it through the grace of God. So now, what's the secret? The secret is this. If you want to live righteously, begin to focus more on his righteousness given to you than focusing more on your weaknesses. Did you get what I'm trying to say? Just pick this. There's nobody that can't walk out of any addiction. Focus on what he has done. Focus on righteousness. Stay on righteousness instead of focusing on the things that you have done. Let me put it this way. After you have received Christ, and you within you have had a meeting with yourself, consulted with yourself, and you now say, I want to begin to live the life of Christ. The moment you decide that, stop looking at yourself. Because every time you see a lot of people talking about their weaknesses, do you know you can't talk about anything without focusing on it? Do you know if suddenly I mention my baby's name, his face comes? Do you know if you want to go to Onisha and you are telling somebody, you know what is on your mind? Onisha. Did you get me? So if you keep focusing on your errors, on your weaknesses, on your failures, you will remain there. But when you start focusing, he has made me righteous. I'm his righteousness. Do you know why? Because you eventually manifest what is in your mind. And what you keep looking at is difficult to walk away from. Is anyone listening to me? If you keep looking at your sins, if you keep looking at your failures, it will be difficult to walk away from them.